Welcome back to another episode of Muscle and Masculinity from T to Z. I'm one of your co hosts, Scott, aka Fluffy, on social media. I have my co host, Jody, who is Damn It Jody on social media as well. And here with us today, we have Liam, who also goes by Uncle Liam Lifts on Instagram. Welcome to another episode, guys. I'm so glad you could join us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
The first episode of Pride Month.
Yeah, seriously. That's right. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here forgetting national events and shit. I'm just like spaced.
With everything else going on right now, man, you're allowed to forget national fucking events right now. That's totally good.
You're not wrong. And I saw him. So as most people know, I live next to DC. So I work in Alexandria, which is 20 minutes away from my house. And there's the Eisenhower Bridge on 495. As I was coming home, I saw the helicopter on my way home. And I was like, oh, look, there he is. Wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it? You just saw it falling from the sky.
Look.
Oh, yes.
I'm not saying anything.
Just wouldn't it be nice?
It would be really nice.
Nature's wild, man. Anything can happen.
It's true. I mean, we did also just have an accident with a plane and a helicopter not too long ago, so.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
So.
Shit,
have they
man.
because I didn't even hear about that one. Have they just stopped? I guess maybe they just stopped reporting on it. Is it happening so much?
So we can't talk about this.
So one of my friends is actually firefighter paramedic, and she was one of the first people to actually respond.
Oh.
Yeah, so she was on the floor, searching for bodies and parts and everything like that, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So.
No. Mad props to people who can do that.
Oh no, absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Wow.
Dude. Yeah. All right, Liam, my man.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I'm sitting in between two coaches right now, right? You do coaching as well?
I am certified. I don't take clients right now. I took clients during the pandemic. I did a lot of online training. Had a handful of clients who were mostly up in Canada. And then I got promoted at Target and 40 hours a week and set schedules and stuff. So I didn't want to have people paying for services that I couldn't give them adequate attention. So my clients that I had, I deferred to other trainers in the community who I thought their goals and style of training would align. And I just kind of, if I'm training for something myself, if I don't have the time to write it up myself, I'll pay for a coach. But I've just kind of been coaching myself. So
yeah. Shit, yeah. Man, you better than anybody else, and good on you for saying to your clients, I can't give you the time that I think you deserve or that you're paying for, because there's a lot of coaches that won't do that, and they'll start bullshitting programs and stealing programs and doing all this other shit. So, mad respect to you for saying,
100%.
No. Yeah. That's awesome.
No.
I mean, it's not
especially
awesome, but it is.
All of my clients were within the community, and I was charging very low prices. So, I was not trying to make people who are already kind of struggling feel even less cared about. Especially within the community, got to do right by each other. So, that was.
Yeah,
that's
a sensitive spot for me and Scott.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. I was just thinking, I was like, that's the same mindset that I have when it comes to my coaching. I'm just my full-time job and my part-time job, they pay my bills. Like, you know, the coaching is just to build my gym. So that's really it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Shit, man, I own a landscaping company. Like, that's what I landscape all summer. That's what I do. And then I take people when I can on the side. And it's like, I don't have the pressure of it to pay my bills where I got to like pressure everybody into like coaching or something. It's almost like a pyramid scheme where, you know, remember like people would be like, I'm trying to go on a cruise. I need somebody to buy $7,000 worth of product from me, and like making us all feel like shit. But like, dude, that's shitty as hell. Like, now I feel bad that I'm not hiring you as a coach. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we know what pays our bills, but we enjoy doing this. So, we do it. We get to do it.
Exactly.
100%. I definitely love doing this. If I wasn't working in the government, I'd be doing this full time, and I wouldn't charge a dime.
Yeah.
I hate that you work for the government.
I'm sorry.
I hate that you work for the fucking government.
All my surgeries are paid for if I ever need to.
Hey, seriously? The government will pay for gender affirming care?
Yes. Especially
That's
if it is
almost
medical.
Ironic, right?
So gender affirming care accounts, I believe, for less than 0.1%, or I can't remember exactly what it is, but I believe it's definitely less than a percent of their total budget.
Yeah.
So as long as it is medically deemed necessary, it is covered.
But that's like all gender affirming surgeries. So let's just to make that clear to anybody who's listening.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Like, that's no different than anybody else. Like, in any great circumstance, any bad circumstance, anybody getting gender affirming care has to be seen by a psychiatrist or psychologist with letters of confirmation first.
Yep. But it also depends on your state as well.
Okay, so then you can do confirmed, or what is that?
Informed consent. Is that what it is?
Informed consent,
yeah. But either way, you have to be an adult.
Yep.
You have to be informed, and you have to consent.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, shit, dude, I've been on the waiting list for top surgery for 3 years. So when I hear people that are like, they're just doing these surgeries, like, dog, where should I go to just get one of these surgeries? Like, they didn't even approve me for phalloplasty. And I had posted that, like, some medication. The doctor was like, I'm too nervous to operate on you with the medication you're taking. And I didn't even get put on the 3-year waiting list for it. So it's funny that people act like we just walk in and decide one day we're going to do this. Like, I don't wait this long for anything, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I also kind of feel like if you do that, you have a lot of money, so.
Well, and I will say, like, I have known a very, very small number of people in my time in the trans community, of people who maybe could afford to skip some of the red tapes and could afford to skip some of the steps that maybe other people are really frustrated or feel burdened by having to follow certain procedures because it takes forever and you got to wait for lists. And I understand that because I went through that process, but I've also seen people fast track it and they get through surgeries and they have a really hard time adjusting to life after, or like what comes next, or like, and don't get me wrong, like we all struggle with that. I just think maybe some of that build up and some of that time to like really mentally prepare for this life altering event, maybe having that extra amount of time is kind of a blessing in disguise. I'm not saying some of the red tape is an asshole. I would have liked to skip it, but like, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying I've seen it kind of like be a double-edged sword. So I tried to put one positive spin on maybe like.
I definitely think
100%.
I think like not skipping lines and skipping ahead definitely allows you to mentally adjust and socially adjust. you know?
Yeah.
Because
That
it's
part.
not just you that's going through transition. It's also your friends and family. It's the people that know you. It's the people
Hang
that
on.
support you.
I've lost. Hang on.
We
I don't
like
know what's
having
going on.
technical difficulties around here.
Dude, yeah.
Sorry. My headset switched over to whatever TV show my wife was watching, so
Oh no!
I was like listening to you guys, and then all of a sudden,
And
I think it's
Gilmore
the Gilmore
Girls in the
Girls.
background.
Yeah, the Gilmore Girls. Is,
Yes!
so, yeah,
We love the
turned me
Gilmore
on.
Girls, though.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah.
swear to God.
So
I
hopefully I can
I love
continue to
that
hear you guys pretty good.
you said that because I had said that on a podcast that we had just done where I said, look, if I got to transition like in my 20s, I would have fucked it up so bad. I would have been such an idiot. And that's not to say that like 20-year-olds that are going through transition now, they're probably a lot more mature than I was. But I mean, socially, I didn't even know that transgender people existed until I was in my mid to late 20s. But having that break to where I was in my 30s when I started transitioning was perfect for me, and forcing me to wait until I was financially ready for top surgery. I still have 6 months to prepare, but I think that, I mean, while you're waiting, it fucking sucks and you're pissed off, but I really do think it can be a good thing, like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you just like allow it to be a good thing. Like I think mindset is key also, you know. And I had to coach myself through a lot of that because I have a tendency to be kind of pessimistic at times.
Me too.
But, yeah. But you know, if you can kind of really lean into the gratitude of waiting and the gratitude of like being given an opportunity to like mentally prepare, I think it does help set you up for success. So that just what I've observed and kind of witnessed. So
Yeah.
that could be the
I feel like it's not going to happen. Like I know it will, and I know my time is coming, and I'm scheduled. But in my mind, I'm like, it's going to be the day before my surgery, and they're going to call and say, "Oh, your insurance didn't go through, or something else happened." And I just can't imagine getting surgery. Like I'm
yeah,
so excited for it that I feel like something bad has to happen,
yeah.
and I'll have to wait or I won't get it. Is that because Scott and I are both pre-surgery? Is that something that you going into surgery you're like, shit, this
Oh,
just isn't going to happen
oh
for
my
me?
God. I literally, that's the exact thing that happened for my ACL repair is the
Oh
day
shit.
before, like as I was leaving my pre-op appointment, I got the phone call that my insurance hadn't gone through. So like they
Oh
had
my
canceled
god.
my surgery for the very next morning at 6 8. Like, so like I have had that happen to me for surgeries that
Oh
I deemed
shit.
very, very fucking important.
Yeah.
But that, you know, it didn't happen to me. And this was during COVID, and they were canceling surgeries that were deemed as elective all the time. So I was just really leaning into good vibes and like watching like the COVID trackers to make sure the hospitals weren't shutting down and stuff. So,
God,
but
yeah, I bet that was wild.
dude, and you know, I couldn't have anyone with me, so my wife dropped me off at the hotel, the hospital or hotel. My the same little U drive. My brain is confused now, but yeah, but yeah. So it dropped me off at the front door. I checked myself in. I sat there and waited, and then they took me up and put me in a little gown and drew everything up. And I'm a recovered narcotics. I had abused painkillers that were prescribed and got out of control, but all that stuff. So I made it clear with my doctor that I didn't want to have anything like that. So she was explaining like the extra preventative measures they were going to be taking, and so like my anesthesia was like, so I mean, I was awake being there for maybe an hour and a half, and then like I wake up I woke up and actually I remember there being a male nurse in the room, and I started patting on my chest because I felt like I had just like nodded off, and I woke back up and I was like, and I looked at him like in a panic. I was like, "Did you get it?" And he was like, "Yeah, bro, we got it." And I was like, "What is all this?" He was like, "Dude, you're jacked. It's okay. Like you're just take a nap." I was like, "Oh, thanks, bro." And I just like passed back out, It was so funny though, but I was pretty swollen, and yeah, I built up more muscle than I had given myself credit for. So I was like, "Whoa, this is what's going on."
Yeah.
But yeah, then like I kept nodding in and out, and then they called my wife, and she drove up to the door, and they wheeled me out in a wheelchair, and they put me in the car, and I did the whole thing that day by myself, and it was fine. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me, It was really trendy, especially at the time, to have the cute videos of you waking up and people being there and stuff. And I was like, I missed out on those moments. But
yeah,
in hindsight, I don't care.
I mean, yeah.
Hindsight,
I can just rip your shirt off anytime. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, just don't care about that at all anymore. But yeah, no, I think your anxieties and stuff like that, they sound really like par for the course, like pretty normal stuff that everybody kind of feels or kind of experiences to some degree or some variant of. But yeah, I would just recommend if you're into meditation, like there is a really great meditation video that I found on like just YouTube. I think I YouTube like meditation for surgery prep, and I think it was like a 12-minute video of this woman just doing a guided meditation. And yeah, so I used that the day before and just got centered, and then I did that again before they put me under, and that was that. So
perfect, man.
Yeah,
Woke up jacked.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I woke up 8 pounds lighter, apparently, 4 each.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just taking a massive shit.
They're like, we didn't do top surgery, actually just shit. So now we're ready to get
shit all over the place.
Oh my God. I was feeling so bloated.
Oh shit, man.
Not anymore.
Right. That's why they tell you want the stool softener.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. All that shit backed up from when you were 15 years old just coming right on out.
There you go.
Dude.
No, but for real though, you will want some stool softeners. Just for anybody who's about to have surgery, anybody's watching for you, you'll definitely want that. When you get home, you don't want to blow a stitch.
I got some left over from my hysterectomy. I remember them giving me stool softeners for my hysterectomy. And I was like, dear God. Dude, the gas is what that they pump you with so they can see all your organs and shit. I could feel that shit in my shoulders and my neck. I was like, am I going to die right now?
Oh my God.
And I was good to go 2 days later.
Damn.
That's not
the recovery.
comforting.
What, the gas?
Yeah.
Just get a cat and have it knead on your belly a little bit.
I'm going to be in so much discomfort.
Yeah.
Couple
just
days
get like
at
a
least,
visual of like little puffs of air coming out the suture marks. Like from the like when the cat's making biscuits.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
See, how bad was the binding after? Because I know I've heard now after top surgery you got to be wrapped up for what, like 20 some hours a day.
Yeah,
that's gonna make me want to fucking die.
Yeah, it's if you're not used to being in a binder anymore, or if you never wore a binder, then it can be a little intense. But in my mind, I just like looked at it as final stretch. Make it through this. Like, this is the last time you'll have to wear a binder unless you break your ribs or something stupid. But I just was I had been binding for years, so and I had fluctuated sizes and ended up binding with binders that had been too tight for what, periods of time. So I was kind of used to that sort of discomfort. But like I said, I was not used to the half binders. So the surgical vest was actually way more comfortable than some of the binders that I had ever worn, because it was just like the little miniature tank top ones that had like a enclosure on the front. So it was kind of easy to open and like change bandages and put back together. Had a thick band, so like you could just attach your drains. I had my surgeon did drains. I'm actually kind of glad that I had drains because I actually have bukus of fluid, so worked out in my favor. I know everybody's got a preference, but whatever.
My
It didn't bother
doctor
me.
said no drains,
That's
but
a lot of people really prefer that. A lot of people heal faster that way. So like every surgeon's got a method, and they all have a reason that they do it that way, and they all sound really convincing when they tell me why they do it that way. So
right.
I'm not a freaking doctor. Like,
Right.
You went to school for this, not me. We're going
yeah,
to take your
Exactly.
lead.
yeah. It's like whatever you say, doc, go for it. So I think that the vest is okay. Like
Shit.
honestly, it'll be a little uncomfortable, especially because they do want you to wear it. The first 5 to 7 days, pretty much all day. You'll be sleeping for a lot of that anyway. And you won't be able
Right.
to lay flat on your back anyway. So you'll kind of be laying. I got a pillow. I have like a wedge. I recommend like a
Oh
wedge.
yeah.
It's almost like one of those sex balls. So it's like,
Dude, multi-purpose.
Is it kind of
Multi-purpose,
like a
man.
body
Once you're done
pillow?
with it.
Some people use the
Pregnancy
body pillows.
pillow.
I've seen some people use those ones that look like the little arms on the side, but like basically anything that's gonna like prop you up at like a 45, because you don't want to lay flat on your back, but you also don't want to be sitting all the way up. So, just
Jeez.
get yourself a nice reclined position to be in. And the thing that's hard, the reason you're not going to want to be flat is because you can't push yourself up. So if you get flat on your back, you can't get up. So because you're really not going to be able to use your arms. Um, and even if you can kind of use your arms, don't, because you don't want to make your scars blow out. So just
That's what I'm afraid
just
of.
be literally as immobile as you possibly can. Like seriously, don't move as much as you possibly can that first few days until you can kind of, just like in this,
Hoist yourself up.
just like right here.
Yeah,
Like
there you
no,
go.
you're not gonna want to reach. You're not gonna want to. That whole T-Rex arm thing is very real, but they don't want you to lock into that. Obviously, they don't want you to get stuck. But you also like just don't. You'll feel what feels too tight or what's uncomfortable. Just don't push yourself. Like seriously, just take it super easy. So you'll be fine.
So crucial, you would say then, because I know a lot of us trans mask individuals, myself included, have just absolute shit ass posture, rolling our shoulders forward. I think subconsciously covering our chest our whole lives. At least that's how it is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to be almost immobile for 6, 8, 12 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had top surgery, so I want your kind of thoughts on it. More so, I see guys saying, what can I do to build up my chest? What can I do to add more muscle? What can I do to get stronger? But I don't ever see anyone say, you need to do mobility work and you need to do it yesterday.
Yeah.
And more importantly than piling on muscle is making sure your rotators are moving smoothly and you can raise your arm above your head and put your elbow behind your back. And I
Yeah.
never see anybody say that shit. It's always bench press, bench press, bench press. So now you've got a contracted chest and shitty shoulder mobility, and now you're locked in for 12 weeks, and it is going to be hell
That's
after to try and fix that.
I, it's good that you know that going in, because I actually had a locked lat coming out of surgery.
Oof.
I think I know what I did, because I was dropping my wife's laptop and like saw it in slow motion, like flying off the side of the couch, and you know how you just
Yeah.
like impulsively like reach for something. well, I did that and I reached down instead of up, like not really think. I was like,
Oh,
oh, and so I went this way and I still reached too far. And I felt it and it tinged, and I ended up getting a little infection on the incision line, and
wow.
yeah, it was like a little thing, but I it was, in the grand scheme of things, not the biggest deal, but um definitely felt that happen. And I'm pretty sure like the shock recoil of doing that, when I felt that like pinch, I'm pretty sure that's the exact moment that I like locked my lat. And so,
Oh,
um, because I remember like being at the gym after I got cleared, um, and I was really hoping to be able to try to do a triathlon. So I was trying to get the mobility to do some swimming. And I did not. I did not accomplish that. So,
your lat said, "I am my head out."
no, yeah, I literally couldn't. Like, I was trying to swim, and I literally couldn't take a stroke with that arm comfortably. Like, I couldn't
Jesus.
extend. Um, so it's so good that to focus on that, and you're already thinking about that kind of stuff, because that was probably one of the more challenging hurdles in my like fitness recovery coming out of top surgery. That I was dealing with, and I didn't even realize how bad it was, until
Till it's too
weeks
late.
back in the. And I was just like, man, my strength is really, I knew it'd be weird coming back, but it's like, man, this is feeling, and yeah, eventually one day I was just like, wait a minute, and I switched to like unilaterals, and I was like, wait, okay, so. And I just remember like grabbing the cable and doing the thing where like I put it on the heaviest weight possible, and I just like forced my arm to extend and like kind of sat back in the chair, and I
Ooh.
felt this whole thing just go and like pull, and I was just like, okay, all right, yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, so I felt it
Yeah.
all kind of stretch back out, and I started putting some pressure on it to work out knots and stuff, but eventually kind of got some symmetry back. But yeah, dude, that was one of the things coming back into the gym after surgery that it took me weeks to realize how bad it was. And yeah, so definitely do that, because if first off, my mobility in my shoulders kind of sucks in the first place. They've been dislocated so many times that my mobility is not the best. But if you can keep that smooth, all the way through, and like that'll totally help your recovery process. But also, like, I know a lot of people don't believe in chiropractors, but my chiropractor has been able to like really help fix. I had a pretty good like knot on the back of my neck, and they've helped like really kind of help straighten that out.
Nice.
So I would definitely recommend like looking into that after you're like super cleared from top surgery, because they'll be able to help readjust your spine to rib, connections, like all the cervical and thoracic spine, pieces, your lumbar, or not your lumbar, but your little vertebrae in there. They'll be able to kind of like help realign those to help like you get some corrected posture back, because you're so used to having this weight that's going to be gone. So they'll kind of help you accelerate that. If you're doing spinal and muscular adjustments at the same time, that'll just help speed up that process and like create some more longevity. But I know a lot of people don't like chiropractors. I've always had a lot of good luck with them, but
Me too.
whatever.
I dig them, man. Scott, where are you at on chiropractors?
The last time I went to a chiropractor, all they wanted was my money.
Dude, I'm all about them. I'm all about chiropractors. I'm not even gonna lie.
I feel like the cheaper the chiropractor, the better they are sometimes too. Like if you go to those little
Yeah.
$25 adjustment places,
They put you on a plastic table and just jump on you.
yeah,
Suplex.
Yeah.
Exactly.
you could
And I'm
go,
like, this is the best my back's ever felt.
or when you go to like the massage, the Chinese guys in the mall,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
like $1 a
Yes.
minute, and they
Yes.
physically like get their fingers somehow up underneath your muscle, and you're just like, how the fuck this hurts? And
Yeah.
then like
Yes.
days later, it's like, I feel great.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or like the reflexology places.
Yep.
Those. Yep.
Oh. Okay. So crucial for stretching, and then how long? How long before you went back to the gym? Was it a full like 12 weeks?
I think it was somewhere between 8 and 12. Whatever I was initially kind of told, my surgeon had me pushed back, and so I did have to wait. But I feel like it was somewhere in that ballpark, was between 8 and 12 weeks. I think I
Were you
was like,
nervous going back?
yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm sorry, was what?
Were you
Was
nervous
I
going
nervous?
back? Like I've heard guys say they go to military press and it just feels different or it feels weird, and that freaked me out so bad. I'm trying to imagine of what that would feel like.
Yeah, I think I turned that like nervousness into just like thinking of it as coming back from injury in like any sport. Like, okay, so when I came back from injury in softball or basketball or powerlifting or whatever the situation would have been in school, like they would have put me on machines instead of free weights. They would have put me on, more mobility and like dynamic warm up stuff instead of as much static stretching. They would have put, I just tried to follow like remember your training, like
Right.
just do what you need to do to heal, do what you need to do. Like, it's not sexy, it's not the fun stuff. Like,
Yeah.
your body just went through a huge overhaul. Like, it is a giant shock to your nervous system.
Yep.
You're missing a huge organ.
Yep.
Like, you're missing a large, and this is the thing. I try to like remember, and like it took me a while to put into context. Is like, so sure, the skin will feel tight, and like you'll want to like definitely moisturize and definitely use your scar strips and definitely do things like that and treat this outward scars. But what we forget is like, if you're not actively massaging those scars, then you're not treating everything under the skin, because what really happened is they just took all out your breast tissue. So like the biggest thing that happened isn't the surface, it's all that stuff happening underneath the skin, right? So like that's what's gonna hurt, is that under your skin scar from where they took out all that massive tissue. So that's why you're gonna want to be massaging. That's why you're gonna want to use the washer stone. That's why you see people with those red light things, wands or whatever, whatever you can do to like help. Different strokes for different folks. I really like a washer stone, and some.
What is that?
A washer stone? It's just a piece of stone. They can be made out of different things. I think mine's quartz or onyx now. Not yeah, obsidian. They also have them made out of jade. But yeah, it's just a little stone. It almost looks like an artist palette. It's like a quotation mark, like in a comic book, where it's kind of got like a, you know what I mean, like that, or like a thumb holder. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I'm sitting at a desk. I'm gonna draw you a picture. Yeah, it's
We can all
literally
picture
like, yeah, I'll share with the class. No, they're just shaped like this.
What is it
it.
called?
And you like Scott's looking it up.
What's it called?
It's a washer stone. It's Guasha.
Oh my god.
Yeah, clearly not an English word. But
Oh yeah. My physical therapist had one of these. Okay.
yeah, it's
Guasha.
Because
Not
the thing is you
wash.
can use it different ways. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's confusing because it's not an English word. So yeah, I'm glad to
So
know that
like
this.
the guy that you see on TikTok or Instagram, and he goes, "Gua sha, gua
Yes.
sha." Okay.
Oh my
All right.
Yeah.
god.
Well, and it's great because like okay, so with my little shitty drawing, like
It's a
when your
gorgeous
scars,
drawing.
thank you. When your scars are new, you can use like the big part, so like that part. But then like when your scars are a little, you know, when you're like months out of surgery and you're still feeling like knots, if you still have like knots or like keloids trying to form, then you can flip it around and use this side, and it gets in there and breaks shit down way more intensely. So like it's not for the faint of heart. It can be a little intense.
I'm
But
like,
no,
I'm
it
just
really
doing
does
this to
help.
be beautiful.
I want the scars to go away. Yeah, no. So I mean,
Pain is beauty.
That's
my scars
it.
are. I mean, they're just starting now to get more white right here, but I mean, but they're pretty flat. So I got
Who is your
lucky.
surgeon?
Her name is Dr. Stephanie Maliaris, and she works out of the Denver Health Network. It's a
Nice.
teaching hospital, so I don't know if she's necessarily still there, but she had a handful of students when I was there.
Nice.
So
I was looking at Kathy Rumor, but she never got back to me as far as top surgery goes. All the doctors that I've gone to so far, they're like, your nipples are too small because I want keyhole.
mm,
There's some top surgery scars for double incision where I've seen, and they're just horrible.
yeah, yeah, it can be hit or miss. Like doing all that research is really important. So
Yeah.
and you'll
I
know,
would.
like it might be frustrating to like search, but you'll know when you find the right surgeon for sure. It'll click.
Then
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't think
for
I
sure.
found the right surgeon.
Yeah.
Because it's like he was like, we can't do keyhole, and of course me, I'm not going to take like no for an answer. So I want a second, third, maybe fourth opinion, but I don't know. And I scheduled the appointment because it's like you don't know if you're going to get another one, but it's like now I've got 6 months or something like that where I'm like, I think I want to go to some more consults
I mean,
and see what everybody says.
might as well. It's your body.
Yeah.
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 There's no harm in trying to find another surgeon who's going to give you the answer that you want.
Exactly.
I know I probably speak for all of us when I say we probably all want to go to Dr. G down in Florida,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he doesn't take insurance, and
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he's like $12K now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
There we go. We all pool our money together, man. One of us
Right.
can get half a surgery.
Yeah.
Just one
Well,
tit
Just
is
remove
gone.
one.
I got super lucky, and I did get the money that I asked for on GoFundMe. So, like, I was super
That's good.
grateful.
Nice.
And so my out-of-pocket expenses were definitely covered for the most part by
Awesome.
the crowdfunding. So, but
Look at our community showing out, man. I love that.
Hell yeah.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, they really did. Like, it was it happened so quickly too. I was truly like so overwhelmed with gratitude because it was like I had a GoFundMe for years and years and nothing was really working out, and so I finally took it down, and then like that's kind of like I moved, I found a different surgeon, I put a GoFundMe, like it was just like the right time, and bam, and like the money was there, and everything worked out. So I
It
yeah,
always does, man.
yeah, for sure. So
That's awesome.
I think Scott was talking about this recently. It was like, or how just the universe like happens on its own time. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
Our last episode.
yeah,
Yeah, because the universe, it's always on time. Whether you believe in God, you believe in Judaism, or the universe itself, like it's always on time. It's never late. So everything works out the way that it's supposed to work out when it needs to work out.
yeah, yeah. I think the hardest thing about that is like being people, like human beings, we're just so impatient.
Yeah.
We think we know best about like everything, right? Like, so in our infinite wisdom, like we're always like, but
Yeah.
I want it now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Not
but,
wrong.
Yeah.
Me and my ADHD were just like, but can we have it now? But I need that dopamine.
Let me
hit. I need it now.
on this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right now.
I know you said
Dude,
no.
that's
then,
the
but how
worst.
about no?
See.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this scheduled and get it done tomorrow. Where can I go?
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. Exactly. But, yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where, unfortunately, you gotta wait.
Yeah. A lot of people getting top surgery, man, with the waiting list, how long they are for people, for insurance, for doctors that take insurance.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I think it's also now, it's like, especially with politics, like people are afraid to get surgery, and doctors are afraid to do surgery because of the politics.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Doctors shouldn't be pressured by random people online, afraid of having their license revoked or whatever for providing care. That's
it
wild.
should, like, it's literally life and death. Like, just two cases off the top of my head, not trans specific, but there's a lady right now in Georgia who's being an incubator for her unborn child that hasn't even been born.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Like that
and her family,
blood boiling.
Yeah, and her family's on the hook for the medical bills. Everything that they are incurring, all the charges that they're incurring, the family has to pay for.
See, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. There was another case, I forget which state it is. I know it's a red state because a doctor just got in trouble for giving a 10-year-old abortion pills. Yes. Yes.
Dude.
Yes. That's my exact thoughts.
Was it ever really about protecting children?
No, it's
like
not.
Honestly, was it ever really like? How do you hear that and
come on, and still charge the doctor? You know?
Yeah, like are we using? I'm sorry, did we skip over the fact that a 10-year-old needed abortion pills? Like, can we skip back?
It's like
I mean,
reverse.
Yeah.
That's no.
There's a lot of sickness in the world, and I really wish that we could just do away with it.
Yeah.
I really wish we had, like, we were in medieval times, and we could take swords and hack pedophiles' heads off.
The world technically you could do that now, but
I mean, yes, we could. But it's highly illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
So, hey, you know what? I've been seeing memes going around that says, like, if immigrants want their green cards or, like, permanent status, they should go around just killing pedophiles.
That's good.
Just like
I get behind that, man.
Of immigrant vigilantes. Yeah, I'm kind of here for that. That sounds pretty cool.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to catch a predator is a thing, so.
Yeah, replace Chris Hansen with some illegal immigrants, and when they come in, they just start shooting them. They like jump them, and we just get to watch them get jumped. Dude, there's a page on Instagram that had come up, and it's this dude that like meets pedophiles, and then he beats the shit out of them in like public places and stuff. I was like, dude, I love this.
That's a win.
I fucking dig that. Yeah.
I love that guy, and I don't even know him.
Right? Doing the Lord's work.
I don't either, man, but the sound of his fist hitting their face and like the crunch noise, like I literally live for that shit, dude. It just, and they just like drop, and it kills me. I'm like, this is what we fucking need, dude. A
That's
pedophile
what you
hunting
watch
day.
to feel better. You're like, man, the news was a lot today. I need to go watch this.
And it's like,
this dude's camera.
oh my God, that was it. That was what I needed.
Yeah.
Punch your local pedophile.
Punch a local pedophile, yes.
Look, there's a site for a reason, all right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm
I
tired of our community
have not
being the
been on
scapegoat, though.
Yeah, and we're
I'll send it
not.
to
And
you,
9
Scott.
times out of 10, it's just a fucking Republican.
Literally. The whole bathroom debate when they say like, "Oh, I don't want a man in the and it all comes back to men. Like you're not scared of transgender people, you're scared of men pretending to be transgender.
Yeah. Once again,
that's what's wild.
Because let's be honest, all three of us just go into the bathroom, we take a shit, we take a piss.
Yeah, I was going to say take a shit.
Hands,
don't even say take a piss.
We wash our hands and we walk out of the bathroom. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all we do.
That's typically
and
what
it's
I
like
do
you're in a stall. Like you're like I'm not using the urinal, so like I'm in a stall which usually doesn't have a fucking door or a lock, but whatever. And then the scariest thing is all these men that don't fucking wash their hands.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
And then just fucking leave, like, dude,
for real,
nasty ass fucking people.
So
that's what you should be afraid of.
Oh man, I've been in a bathroom when like 5 or 6 people just walk in, and then you don't hear the sink going, and you're just
at all.
Exactly.
Sirs, can you come back?
And then you're looking at the door. You're like, oh, good, I have to grab this handle to leave. I'm gonna fucking throw up, dude. I'm like,
what's the worst when I'm at work and like I hear like people use the bathroom and not wash their hands, and then like I see them immediately go start like grabbing produce.
No.
So like, it's just like, they're like, oh, which avocados do I want? And then they have to touch like 14 avocados.
They're like feeling all of them.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your reminder to please wash your fruits and vegetables before you eat it. I don't care where you live. Wash your vegetables and fruits.
I love it. You said wash your vegetables and not wash your fucking hands.
But please wash your fucking hands.
Please wash your hands, but also like because you can't control all the weird fucks out there who won't.
Yeah.
Wash your own food.
You gotta play defense.
Yeah.
That's sick, man. Dude.
That's disgusting. I didn't even think about that. Thanks, Liam. That's gonna be a permanent image in my
I'm
head.
sorry.
Yeah. Next time I go to the grocery store. I'm gonna be like, look at all these dick hand, shit hand apples over here. I don't want any of that shit.
You're gonna walk into the produce section and like pull nitrile gloves out of your pocket and like literally touch anything.
I'm like, you know how much shit is on these, literally.
It's COVID again. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Nasty,
so
man.
Most of my fruits and vegetables come frozen.
Yeah.
So, because like buying a giant 5-pound bag of strawberries for $10 is cheaper than buying 2 pounds of fresh strawberries for $4. Like there's
better
no
for you too.
Not just that, but like price wise, it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
So,
you know, if you're not sitting down and planning on having fresh strawberries, then it doesn't really matter because the frozen ones are going to be just as easy to throw in a blender, or they're better to bake with because they're already dehydrated. Like, get more options.
Yeah. That's what I make my jelly with, man. I don't fucking buy jelly from the store. That shit is horrible for you. So you can use frozen berries.
You make jam at home?
I do, yeah.
Let me fucking find out this guy.
Dude, I'll send you guys some jam. Dude, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hell
maple syrup too. I get actual maple syrup from a maple tree at my grandparents' house, so I don't eat the shit in the store because it's not actually maple syrup.
I'm good on maple syrup.
Come on,
I want some of that.
Yeah, it's like I got you, man. It's only the shit in the store is only 51% actual maple syrup. The rest of it's like sugar, water,
Unless
and
you
some caramel
get like
coloring
shit
and
that's
shit.
actually made in Vermont.
Okay.
Yes. Expensive shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go home, I always try to make it a deal of picking up some sort of maple syrup while I'm home. By the way, I grew up in Vermont, so that's where home is.
Dude, fuck
Otherwise, I'll just ask my mom. It's like, can you send me a gallon of maple syrup? And she'd be like, which one? Because there's 3 different grades. There's A, B, and C. A is going to be what you find most in stores. B is kind of like more local, and then C is kind of like the shittiest. I always get B because I think B tastes the best.
Okay.
And then a gallon of maple syrup normally lasts like 10 years.
Yeah.
Wait. Are we talking shelf life, or it literally takes you 10 years to finish a gallon of maple syrup?
Literally takes 10 years.
Oh my God.
Okay, first of all,
I don't.
A month?
I'd be just drinking that shit.
Sir.
Dude, I gotta pre-dose my insulin when I have breakfast.
I was gonna say.
Syrup. Have me season out at the table.
Give me that syrup.
Dude.
Hit me with a shot.
I tried sugar-free syrup one time. When I poured that shit out, it was like brown water. Like it just like all drained off. I was like, nope, not doing that. Not doing that.
No. I was real frustrated because I had to get some at the cheap store brand, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This tastes like aspartame."
You're like, it literally, it's like it's giving me a headache and it's making my teeth hurt. Yeah, that shit fucking sucks.
Ruined my fucking nightmare.
I had to go get my
Dude, that's
syrup.
crazy that you grew up in Vermont.
How is it crazy?
I always forget that Vermont exists. It's like one of those states you never hear shit about. They never do anything. They never like.
Right?
Really?
Yeah. Bernie Sanders is a senator there.
That's what I thought. See,
I didn't even know that.
So, last time I was home, I bought a small little thing of syrup. I think this is 8 fluid ounces.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it is grade A. So you could tell like grade A in the amber.
Yeah.
The darker the syrup, the more grainy it is.
The sweeter the juice.
But the sweeter. We are not quoting Tupac here. But for educational purposes, yes. So yeah, I definitely prefer the grade B. It'd be a little bit darker than this. But this is actually really good too. This is First Chair Syrup. They are out of Killington, Vermont. So, nice little local brand.
Would you ever go back to Vermont? Because I'm not even shitting you. The one time a year I remember that it exists, I always like look it up, and it's like, oh, they're kind of liberal in some areas, and like, oh, it's chill, but everybody says you're shaking your head, so that's a no then. People say it's expensive.
So, Vermont is very progressive. Very progressive, very liberal. Do you remember when Vance went to go ski?
No.
Yes. Yeah, he got beat, right?
So Vance went to go ski, and it was actually a town in Vermont.
Oh, fuck.
And they kicked his ass out.
The whole town showed up, right?
The whole town showed up and kicked his ass out. They're like, fuck you, get out.
Yeah.
100%. They really did.
Yeah, nobody would talk to him or his wife. Nope. Nobody would, like, let them sit down and, like, hang out at their businesses.
My God.
Yeah, like, they wouldn't let him ski in peace. Like, everybody was
great.
like, yeah. I remember.
I bet that really upset him too, and that's what's killing me. Is I bet that bothered him so much. I bet it really pissed him off.
You could tell.
Oh god.
It's cool though, because fuck y'all.
Did we just lose
that
Scott?
happened in Vermont? So
it looks like he dropped there.
About that.
Yeah,
but
as far as
I'm still stuck on this Vance shit because that fucking kills
my
me.
computer froze.
And that now I'm gonna have to. I'm writing it down.
Still
I always take
fucking
notes when we
recording.
do a
Oh,
call.
Jesus
I'm
Christ,
gonna write down. Look up for
why does it do this?
No, it's so
if
funny.
I could afford it,
because
that's where I'd go.
Yeah, they like showed the fuck up, and like the videos that I saw were like people were like lining the streets, and you can tell it's like a small town. Like this is not like a Houston. These are like small streets. They're like areas where there's like not even any sidewalk, and people are just like standing in people's yards, like with signs. Like you could tell this is like a small community, and you could like probably the biggest tourism is just the ski. Lifts that are there or something, but like, everybody showed up and they all had little handmade signs and they were like,
fucking ass.
The videos were epic. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Look it up. It'll make you smile. It'll give you warm fuzzies.
Dude, I totally am. And it's like, it when I think about Vermont, I know that's like not where Gilmore Girls is actually at, but that's like what I always picture is like the Gilmore Girls vibe. I'm like, dude, I've never been, so I gotta go, and I don't ski, and I don't want to ski, so
I know
that's fair. It's hard on your knees, and I don't have an ACL anymore, so.
Oh shit! Yeah. And I've seen ski lifts, and they look scary.
I skied in high school. It was fun.
Really?
Yeah, it was fun when I was in high school. Yeah, but I only went a couple times because I was from Texas. Like we were driving.
You're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
When did you move away from Texas then?
Oh, about 6 years ago.
When shit got crazy?
Yeah. During the first Trump administration.
Oof.
Texas. Excuse me, I got a hiccups or something. No, Texas was leaning into their batshit craziness. I was like, you know what? Let's go.
I'm gonna take my shit and go. Dude, honestly, I hear people doing that, and I gotta say, mad respect again, you got balls, because to say like this situation's fucked, I'm packing my shit and I'm going. I mean I have my wife and my stepdaughter here, so the option of leaving, it's not actually off the table, and we've had the conversations of like, look, because I'm in Indiana, like it's not that much less inbred than fucking Texas is. Like, if I gotta go, like, then I have to go. But it's like to just pack your shit and go and be like, I mean that really takes balls. So
it was a choice, but we felt like it was one that we had to obviously just lean into. It was scary. Luckily, I was able to transfer with Target because I had already been working with them, and so I had a transfer accepted. But I was still only working part-time, and Laura was she had a different career. She was leaving teaching, and she was finding something else to do. So it was really just like picking up extra shifts and running Instacart grocery orders, and literally that first like 8 months out here was really, really hard. It was a very taxing,
like touch and go.
Dude, I was working like 80-hour weeks for good portions of that because I would go and either throw the truck or sort the packages coming off the line or work all the heavy freight. That's really what I did most often at my store, was like anything that's over 30 pounds, 30 to 100 pounds is mine. So like all the furniture, all the dog food, the big crates of cat litter, patio furniture, shit like rugs that are bundled. All that shit was my responsibility. We lost Scott again. He was here. There he goes.
Dude, there he
is. But yeah, and so it was a really physically demanding job. But it was Target, and I was a transfer, so like I was given anywhere between 20 and 30 hour weeks, or hours a week. So obviously you can't pay your rent on that. So I was
Right,
just picking
yeah.
as many
Dude, you can't
shifts
pay
as I
your rent on
could.
40.
Right, exactly. So Laura would like drive me to do my Instacart deliveries because like I would be so tired. I would be like nodding off in the car. So she would drive
Oh
the
my
car
God.
and I would like take the groceries up to people's house and like mark them like so I mean we were hustling.
Yeah.
It was a hard couple months, but it was so worth it. Like once we did finally get ourselves settled and like our furniture arrived and like that was it was just that was a whole different. We could do a podcast on just trying to get the fuck out of Texas, but like
Right?
once everything got settled and everything like started to like calm down, man, it was the best decision that we could have made for ourselves, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was already
Dude,
driving about 3 hours
props.
to see a doctor in
Oh,
Texas,
shit.
and it was just getting harder and harder to keep my meds, and
On top of everything else and fucking, yeah.
so
Dude,
yeah,
good for you, man. Cause
yeah, we just
shit,
took the plunge.
that shit
Yeah,
fucking sucks.
yeah, yeah. But I say, man, people are like, oh, weren't you scared you were gonna, usually it's the financial aspect that really scares people, or like not knowing people, I guess. But I had a friend, a really great person back in Dallas who I was the person asking her. She was the one who was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna up and move to." I think she moved to. It was either Albuquerque or Roswell, or like Sonoma, Arizona. I can't remember which one it was, but
Shit.
she was moving across the state, like out of Texas, and like that was gonna be that, and it was happening pretty quick. And I was just like, aren't you scared? Aren't you nervous? Or aren't you like, how are you paying for that? And I just remember she looked me dead in the face and she was like, well, I figured if I'm broke here, I can be broke anywhere. So might as well enjoy myself. And I was just like, it was just like literally just like these curtains lifted and like cherubs came out and like started playing trumpets in my ear, or whatever. I was like, oh my God, you unlock something in my brain. So, yeah, I just kind of leaned
Yeah.
into the mindset of like, well, things aren't perfect where I'm at right now. So like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Let's go see what it's like over there. So,
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
but
the inevitable of shit is coming towards you as well while you're there. It's not like, oh, you're living somewhere liberal and everything's going to be fine. Like, no, it's getting worse daily.
yeah, yeah. And
Ex-
like, I can't even imagine being in Texas at this point now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just really glad that I left. So it's just me.
Respect,
yeah. Who
man.
knows what would
That's
happen?
impressive.
Well, thank you.
Also, I'm sorry for disappearing. My computer froze again.
Dude. Classic.
I will say it had told me that you were connecting the entire time we've been on the call. So this is the first time I've seen your face.
Well, I've seen your
No.
face the entire time, so
Well, I
there's
figured
that.
like I was like, oh, I'll see it later, but like it's just had the little thing like processing. Like you've been moving and talking, but it's just been like right there. So like,
Holy
whatever.
shit.
So
Dude.
this is
So
cool.
I think it was because my Xbox was taking up a lot of bandwidth. So I was just like, let me turn it off.
That'll
Your
happen.
Xbox is like, you just gonna leave me in here like this then?
Well, I mean, when I get home and I turn my TV on, my Xbox automatically turns on. So most of the time, I don't think about it, and I didn't realize that my Xbox was on when I logged on tonight. So
Do you play live and
I
shit
can.
like online against other people?
I do, yeah.
Dude, I can't do that. I'm afraid I'll get bullied. I don't want to get bullied, man. I don't want to get bullied by some fucking
First of all,
12-year-olds, man.
Yeah,
don't have a mic and mute everybody and just say fuck it and
yeah.
have
Okay.
fun.
I didn't know you could do that. I thought you were like forced to be
Yes.
bullied the whole time while I'm just going to be crying while I'm playing something. Dude, these kids are so fucking mean. Shit.
It's just part
You're
of
not wrong.
It's mandatory abuse.
God.
You're not wrong. I this is not 2009 where the original Call of Duty chats were like lit and you were yelling at 4-year-olds from across the world. No,
Yeah.
we have the technology to mute everyone, even on your own team.
Fabulous. Look, I may have to do it, man. I may have to.
Black Ops 6 is.
Are you guys like finding old hobbies that you used to have and like now you're an adult and you're like, oh, I haven't played video games. Like I haven't played anything in 15 years. And I'm like, I might get another Xbox. And now that I don't have to be cyberbullied within an inch of my life on fucking Xbox, I could just like, God damn it. Like I could just get on there and fucking mute everybody and be cool. You're going to have to tell me how to mute people though, because I don't know how to do that. I don't want to be on there crying, trying to figure it out.
It's fine.
I honestly got to say, I peaked at N64, and
oh shit!
If it's not like GoldenEye, I
love that.
And Mario Kart, I'm probably. I'll watch people game. That's cool.
Mario Kart is a classic, and so is GoldenEye.
Yeah. I've never played Mario Kart.
What the fuck?
Never in my life have I played Mario Kart.
Dude.
I guess I just never had the opportunity. I've never been somewhere and it's been like on. I know.
It's like the godfather of all video
games.
That's what I've heard. Games. See, and it's like now I feel like maybe I'll just be the first person to never play Mario Kart. Well, like in America.
Just keep the record going. Just like never touch it.
Exactly. I'd be like, yeah, man, never played.
I was honestly shocked because my work did like a leadership party at the Dave & Buster's, and I was shocked that they had like Mario Kart.
They do, yes.
At Dave & Buster's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
I was like, this is
fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will never know sweet victory unless you throw a banana peel at somebody and you're winning.
Or like, or if you like strategically release your blue shell to get your friend who's been like talking shit all fucking day.
The whole time.
You're like, oh yeah? Boom, right there. Yeah. Eat that, motherfucker. Yeah.
Jesus. You'll never know. It sounds like I'm going to get bullied on this game, too. What the fuck?
But it's okay. But see, when it's Mario Kart, like everyone is collectively bullying at like a maximum capacity of like an 8-year-old's capacity. Like,
yes.
You've just instantly reverted back to being a second grader.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're such a doo-doo head.
And there's low key something like immensely healing about it too.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm in this zone. I'm gonna knock you off with a banana.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this shell at you. Go back to the back of the line.
Yeah, it helps that all your weapons are bananas and turtle shells and like stars.
Yes.
It's all my weapons in real life, man.
Like. You're invincible when you're covered in glitter. Like what? Like,
it's great.
This is not Call of Duty, okay? Like,
right?
No, it's really not.
It's like a break from Call of Duty. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you haven't played Mario Kart by the time we go to Louisville, I'm kidnapping you and I am taking you to Dave & Buster's.
I was going to say Dave & Buster's.
And we are going to play Super Mario Kart.
Kick everybody off of it and hog it for 6 hours.
I mean, look, we do have to be back at the festival grounds, okay? But I'm also still going to kidnap you for a couple of hours. And this is your wife's forewarning.
I was going to say, I'll let the wife know when I get on. Like, hey, somebody's going to kidnap me at some point. And she'll be like, gotcha.
I'm going to get kidnapped. Just like prepare for it.
It's like somewhat consensual, so I don't know.
I'll stuff cheese curds in your face. You'll be okay.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I will fuck up some cheese curds. Fellas, they're building a Five Guys less than a mile from my house, and it's going to be really bad for me, man, because oh God, it's too close. I'm like, we're going to have to move, man. Fucking love Five Guys. That's my go-to.
Yeah, that is really close. It's walkable. That's danger.
Yes.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
Dude.
You can also make cheese curds at home. You know that, right?
I mean, I can make a burger at home.
Yeah, but you could also make healthy cheese curds at home.
See, look, okay, I'm one of those guys where it's like, if it's gonna be cheese curds, I don't want healthy involved with it. Like, let's just get with the cheese curds. I don't like the healthy ice cream. I don't like any of that shit. Like, I'll eat healthy shit, and that's over here, and I'll eat the other shit, and that's over here, and I don't want them. I don't want them mixed.
Okay, pause. I spent $200 on a Ninja Creamy, and it is the best investment I've ever made.
See, everybody's obsessed with those.
I'm telling you.
That great?
How can you go wrong with protein ice cream? You take a Fairlife, you dump it into this little container, you wait for it to freeze, and then you put it in the Creamy, and it turns to ice cream. You could put whatever you want in it.
Wait.
You've got...
And it actually tastes like the Fairlife, like
yes.
milk, like... Oh, jeez, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I might have to... did you get it on Amazon, then?
No, I went to Walmart.
Oh, fuck. Well, I can order from... Look, I'm about to order one while we're on this call, then I may have to do it. Liam, do you have one? Amazon's going to be knocking on my door. Dude.
2:00 in the morning, just setting it up in your kitchen. They're just be like, you ordered Prime. This is exactly what you get.
That's so legit. I think is what's going to happen is like when you have Prime, you'll have the option to have them like come in your house and just put the shit together for you.
Dude. Hopefully we're not going that way.
Or it's going to be a drone.
I would be surprised because like other companies do that. Think about it. Like if you have...
That's true.
An appliance purchased from somebody, like they'll come and deliver it and install it for you. So like,
fair.
It's only a matter of time. I know that when I used to deliver groceries, that was one of the options. Like sometimes they'd be like, "Hey, take these groceries inside and put them in the refrigerator for this elderly person." You're like,
"Oh, that's so weird."
I hope I don't get kidnapped, but okay.
It's like everything they told us to avoid when we were kids. Right. Don't get in a car with strangers. Like okay, let me get an Uber. Like it's shit.
Don't talk to random people off the street. What are we doing? Talking to random people online.
Literally, yeah. Having people deliver food to our house, like I'm giving this, like you're just gonna ride with my food that I'm about to consume in your car, and then set it on my porch and dip, and like I'll never see you again. And we're like okay with that.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at society has changed, whether it's for the better or for the worse. It begs to differ. But society has changed,
dude. Yeah,
like a lot of society has gotten lazy. Like delivering groceries, door dashing food, like sometimes like most of society has gotten lazy, but then those that are like, okay, I want my body to actually look a certain way and I need it to be a certain way, like us trans folks, we're just like not lazy.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
I get to be lazy in other parts of my life, man, because like I literally have changed my whole gender in society right now. Like that's been kind of tough, but I committed to it and I decided to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is maybe this is just me, but tell me like maybe this might be controversial. I don't know, but like I know that we always say like being trans and transitioning has really like opened me up, and I'm like more accepting, more understanding of different people. I will also, and that's true. I will also say being trans and transitioning has made me less patient and less understanding of some things with certain people because I'm like, bitch, that ain't hard. You think that's hard?
That's just
give an example. I'm assuming I know what you're talking about, but just so everybody listening, like an example of what of what you mean by that.
Oh, like just like, you know, some people get, I don't want to like completely downplay some, you know, people have different gripes at different phases of their life, but you know, so I work at, like I said, I work at Target. So a lot of my coworkers are like 18 to 20 years old. So like the things that are like the end of the world to an 18-year-old, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's
This
not the
is
point.
not the end of the world. What do you mean?
I'm
There's not
trying
a
real hard to be
bomb.
empathetic here.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah.
Nah, I get that.
I gotcha. Yeah. See, and we are eventually, because I mean, there's a whole, this generation's growing up on social media, which
Yeah.
is brand new. I mean, shit, like you remember MySpace and all that shit, and how that's, I know now as like a 30-year-old man, how there, or a 33-year-old man, how that's shaping me and how I feel in my life and all that shit. But these
Yeah.
kids, we don't know what
Literally
it's
grew
like
up on
doing
it.
to them and their transition and what they're going through. I remember a life without social media, so I remember what it's like to legitimately be happy because I didn't
Yeah.
see everybody else like shitting on me all day. But these
Yeah.
kids are at the most formative years of their lives and they're experiencing like this shit, these
Nonstop.
dopamine rushes and these
Yep.
crashes. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man, like it's scary. And you think about like young kids, like I have a 10-year-old, but I also think about the 18, 22, 25 year olds and what that's doing
Yeah.
to them. And if they're even like aware, their perception
Yeah.
of reality is so fucking weird now. And I
Yeah.
I
don't mean
can
that in a shitty
see,
way.
I'll be honest, I can see suicide rates, especially amongst trans folks, getting higher,
Yes.
especially due to social media. Because it's one of those things where you're going to constantly compare yourself to somebody else. The saying "comparison is the thief of joy" is literally quite true as fuck, especially when it comes to us and our transition.
Yeah.
Not just us in general, but like everybody.
Yeah.
You got the cis guy that's comparing himself to, the business guy that's making $1 million a year. He's going to continue to compare himself to that guy, so he's losing out on, joy right now.
Yeah.
And that's the same when it comes to us as well. We compare ourselves. Jody was comparing himself to me, and how I have a big beard, and yeah, that's cool, but
Now I got
it's
now I
gonna.
got both of you on here, and I'm looking at both of your fucking beard. Like, he's like, so I brought somebody else with an excellent beard
I'm
on,
sorry.
so you
I'm
could.
sorry. And
No,
our
that's
next
legit,
couple of
man.
guests don't have beards, so it's okay.
You have to
Um,
shave before you come onto this podcast. We forgot to
Yeah.
tell you.
so like it definitely does steal some joy from you as a person, but yeah, like as these kids that are growing up on social media and like that are directly influenced by people, it's just like, how can we circumvent that, or how do we prevent suicide rates and depression being at an all-time high, especially amongst kids? Take social
Well,
media away.
and I think also like alongside that, kind of jumping off that, is reminding especially trans youth, because I know trans adults need to hear this oftentimes too, myself included, that a lot of our issues, or a lot of our like dysphoria, or issues like that, are not specific to being transgender. Like a lot of the things that we struggle with, or a lot of the things that we feel uncomfortable or insecure about, are the same things that any cisgender person might be struggling with at any given point in time in their life as well.
That's true.
And,
That is
you know,
definitely true.
It's
yeah, like
so
we
true.
are unique. Yeah, we are unique and we are special, and we are very good at like advocating and like excavating and like being self-aware. Like there's lots of beautiful things that come with being trans that do set us apart, I feel like, with skills and things that other people may not hone as much over their life, as trans people get the opportunities to. But a lot of the times the things that we feel very attacked or personal, or like very
Shit.
insecure
Funny,
about, are
bro. I only
things
have
that
his
a
Instagram.
lot of people are struggling with. They just don't maybe have the same framework or understanding our language to like describe the ways that they're being impacted by that.
Real
so
shit.
As trans people, we're not special and we're not unique, and we don't have things that we are going through or skills that we have more opportunities to hone and perfect and really like exemplify over our lifetimes just by nature of being trans. But I think a lot of times we get real hung up in our heads on like, because I'm trans, and that's just not the case, because any cisgender person at any given time can be struggling with body dysmorphia, can be struggling with insecurities, can be just struggling with financial or like living conditions, like things that like really affect the trans community. And like those are just things that I know I've experienced, and other trans people I'm personally aware of have gone through those sorts of things. But like those are not specific to just being trans. Like so I just think that it's important to keep in mind that our struggles may look a little different, but at the end of the day, like
it's
we're
all the
way
same.
more similar. Yeah, we're all way more similar than we want to really get into. So
There's it reminds me, because there's a lot of gym bros that have body dysmorphia. You know, I mean, if
like
you look at like all of them have body dysmorphia. I would venture to say probably like 100% of the like people that call themselves gym bros have body dysmorphia. You know, especially bodybuilders that step on stage. You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
so it's definitely not trans specific, but I feel like people put a label to body dysmorphia because a lot of trans folks do have body dysmorphia, so it's just like easier to connect body dysmorphia with trans people.
Yeah. And just dysmorphia and dysphoria, like gender dysphoria, they can look so similar.
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes it takes having both to really understand. Oh, so all that time that I thought that I was feeling this way because of this reason, I just have dysmorphia.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, that's great to know about myself. Cool. Like, I'm gonna struggle with this no matter what. Like, oh yay, cool.
Yeah.
But awareness is key. So
That's so true.
yeah,
it's like getting
Being
punched in the face and the
hyper-aware of,
stomach at the same time, the exact same time. You're like, oh no. Yeah, dude, that's legit. This is the first realization I've had of not the. I think I've heard it called trans broken arm syndrome, and a lot of people apparently have different names for that. But like, yeah, a lot of my insecurities are the same ones that a cis dude would have. Like they're not like you just said that, and I just came to that realization. Is like, I mean, I worry about my safety being trans, because unfortunately, if somebody murdered me in Indiana, there's a chance that like nobody would give a shit, or people would see that as like somebody doing a service. So like there's that, but then like the normal shit of like, do I make enough money? I'm self-conscious of my height, and I'm 5'11", but I know that if I was a cis dude, dudes that are 5'11" are sometimes self-conscious of their height. Like it's that whole 6 foot thing and shit. And I feel it too. I know my trans brothers feel it, but like, that's not abnormal, because cis dudes feel the same way. Like it's crazy, man. Or like, am I muscular enough? Like every dude's thinking that. It's all the same shit. It's wild. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. I think one of the things that somebody, I can't remember if I read it in like a group or if it was a therapist or like a small group or like, whatever, support group or whatever, early in my transition. But one of the older guys was like, dude, like seriously, go to the mall and just sit in one spot and watch people. Like, just people watch. Like, look at the average male, like,
Yep.
who's walking around, because on in your online space, you are in fitness spaces, and in your day-to-day hobby space, you're surrounded by other athletes and fitness models. So, like, you're dealing with a certain like group of people. But go to the mall and sit in front of like the fucking Gap and the Annie's pretzel place and just watch normal people walk by. And I swear to
Yeah,
God, you'll feel a lot better about yourself. And she
dude,
was so fucking right. Like, it
that's
took maybe
legit.
30, 40 minutes of just watching people walk by. And I'm like, well, these cis guys have bigger tits than I do. Like,
Yeah,
I,
dude.
I feel like I'm in a loose binder, but even still, some of these guys are really out of shape, and like, and that's one of the reasons that I stopped wearing a binder so often. I started wearing tape, is I was like, well, fuck, I just look like any of the guys who've either lost some weight or have I can't ever say the condition correctly.
Uh,
Gynecomastia. Yeah,
Gynecomastia.
there we go. That, yeah, but and that affects way more cis men than we're aware of. Like, that affects
Yeah,
like a very large population of cisgender males, and they're very insecure about that. Do
yeah.
they talk about it? Not until
No.
recently. So
Yeah,
but this is like, so they're struggling with this in silence, and we're struggling with this same issue and less silence, because we know to feel a certain way about it. Like, we
yeah,
know there's an incongruence because of everything else, and they don't have all the other symptoms to kind of frame up the dysmorphia that they're feeling, but it's so similar to the thing. And I would argue that men struggling with gynecomastia, or however we say it, but guys who
gyno.
have that
You
condition,
said gyno.
yeah, guys that are struggling with that condition, I would say that that is a gender like dysphoria, because like they are cis men who feel unaligned because they have breast tissue. Like,
Hmm.
that's a
Yeah.
gender dysphoria. Like, that is also dysmorphia, sure, because it's their body, but that's gender specific. Like, they feel
Yes.
uncomfortable because they perceive it as female attributes. Like, that's a gender dysphoria that
And
affects
they're
cis men.
pursuing surgery for it the
And
same
that's
way.
gender healthcare, right? So
Yes, that's gender
um
affirming care.
Yep.
exactly. And so I just feel like if we all kind of had more understanding of each other and more understanding of um like just more patience with ourselves, and like like not forcing ourselves to want to fit a timetable, or to like we were talking about the comparison and like competing with others or whatever. But
Yeah.
even cis men who've been born in the right body, I hear that term a lot. I feel like we won't get into that, but if that's the way you want to frame it up, then like
Yeah.
they still are struggling with a lot of the same issues that trans men are struggling with.
Yep.
Hmm.
So there's a guy that I know has been shared on a lot of the trans mask accounts that I've seen, but I think his handle is Stazzy. But he's a
Oh
cis man
yeah,
who has
he
been,
partnered with
yeah,
Trans Tape. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and he's been such a resource, I know, for a lot of young trans men who are like trying to like figure out how to wear a tank top to the pool. Like they go
Right.
to him instead of going to other trans dudes, and I think that's wonderful, because he's like, yo, are you a trans man or a cis man who struggles with this? Like, and that's like the way he starts his videos, is to make sure
Yeah.
it's inclusive, but also this is affecting all of us together. Like, this isn't like a and or
Right.
just this. I feel like that unity.
Hmm.
And then I think it was on my Blue Sky. I very rarely check back into it, but some guy had posted about, it was Shop Leaf or whatever. He was like, "Oh yeah, Jim Bros and trans guys unite!" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, bro."
Yes.
For him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I had that same thing," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Like
we're not that different." So,
literally, they're
um,
prescribing testosterone to cisgender women to help with mood swings. Like you can, I know at least one cisgender woman who's taking, I don't know, point 0.2 mLs a week and as a mood stabilizer. And if you're a 30-year-old dude and you go to your doctor and you say, I'm tired all the time and my dick doesn't work, he's going to give you testosterone. And if you go to your doctor and you say, I'm a trans man, he's going to give you testosterone. And now everybody's pissed at us, which is so weird to be like, everybody's taking testosterone. And you're mad at everybody's getting gender affirming care. Cis women are doing shit with their tits. Trans dudes are getting top surgery. Cisgender men are getting the same surgeries we are. We're seeing the same doctors to do this shit. But again, trans people are the issue. So let's make it make sense. You're concerned about like us being predators, but every time I turn on the news or I get on Facebook, it's another dude that's done something fucking weird. And like, so like, are we seeing a pattern here, or it's only a problem when we do it type shit? And it makes me want to fucking scream because people don't understand biology, which is terrifying. Like, the whole sex gender debate, all this shit. Like, tell me you didn't fucking pay attention in school.
I have to run the restroom.
Do it.
I'll be right back. I'm so
do
sorry.
It, man. Do it. Do it because I can bitch about this for a week.
I'm my pride tank top. So we're here. We have arrived.
Yes. Man, I could pull off a tank top. I don't think I can. I
have to edit this so much. My computer just keeps crashing.
Yeah, I've got 2 Scotts at the top. One's loading and one's you.
Oh no. I've probably missed so much conversation.
Yeah, and I don't even remember now like what parts you've been out for and
yeah. I'm just like, fuck it.
Dude, that was quick. That was impressive.
Really quick. Like, bro, what?
Dude, that's what my girl always says to me. She's like, God, you pee so quick. I'm like, dude, I'm trans. You get used to it. Like, get
in and out.
We're not lollygagging.
No. Also, can we talk about how you're a Packers fan?
Of course, man. Any day of the week we can talk about. Dude, come on. Listen.
Why are you a Packers fan? You live in Indiana.
It started with Brett Favre, which, like, unfortunately, he had to go
now he's
and
with
run
the
his
Steelers.
mouth instead of Brett Favre. That's where listen.
He's jumped like 10 teams by now.
Dude. Colts are good. I ain't gonna lie. I like the Colts. I liked them more in the 90s and early 2000s, though. Their owner, Jim Irsay, just died, too. Did y'all see that? I used to do security for him, but that's a different story.
I think it's funny. Fuck the Colts.
You think it's funny that he you don't like the Colts?
First of all, I don't know if Philly. Go Birds.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Sorry. So I have a gripe with the Indiana Colts. Back in the 90s. It was either the 90s or the 80s. They used to be.
Okay, so we're holding grudges then. Yes.
They used to be the Baltimore Colts.
Yes.
They packed up in the middle of the fucking night and left.
Dude. And
literally.
My dad had a Colts license plate on the front of his car, and when he went out to Maryland, they fucking ripped it off while he was in an Applebee's.
I would scream good, but that's not cool. Vandalism is not cool.
Dude, it's not, but like so it's funny that you would bring that shit up, man. Like,
but he should have known. Sorry.
Yeah. Dude, and he backed in too, so that his license plate was facing everyone in the parking lot. I was like, you didn't at least like park facing the bush and put the license plate in there. Shit, you know.
Liam, do you follow any football?
I follow the English Football League.
So soccer.
I was gonna say soccer. Is that soccer?
The original. I follow the original football.
Actual football.
The original, not actual. They're all football. Football is the kind of ball. They have different names, but yeah. No, I'm actually jazzed because my club is the Tottenham Hotspur, and they just won their first trophy in 17 years.
Nice.
They won the UEFA Cup this year. So
nice.
It's honestly, if you were familiar with the league, you would have had so many reactions to what I just said. People have lots of feelings about the Hotspur. It's a very polarizing club. Our main competition, our big rivalry is Arsenal. So usually people, have big feelings about that. So, but yeah, no, we got 17th place, which is one place above relegation in the English Premier League. However, we won the Europa tournament. So we still get promoted to the Champions League, and people, this is
Are
some
losing their
gossip.
minds.
Yes, yeah, this is some hot shit. Like this is people don't know how to process this information. Like this is a big deal. So I'm just here loving that I get to be alive through this moment. So
we're happy to be here with you.
Right,
I don't know what any of this means, but I'm fucking hyped for you, dude. Like I'm down with it. This is badass.
I guess you could compare it to Philadelphia finally winning the Super Bowl back in 2018.
Oh shit.
Yes, you could. Very, very paralleled. Absolutely.
You guys are gonna burn the city down, or?
Well, they did it London style, so they let off smoke bombs and had a parade. So,
and had a parade.
Our equivalent would be throwing tea into the harbor.
Right. Staining the water green.
Yes.
There you
go.
Yeah.
I've actually been in Chicago for St. Patrick's Day, and it's a wonderful sight.
Yeah.
If you haven't been, I would suggest going because it's packed full of drunks.
I've never been to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day, but I've been to New York.
I was Irish.
In New York yes, New York was a good time.
Oh yeah. You're Irish?
I'm part Irish. Yeah, my mom's French Canadian and Irish.
Right on. Yeah. I'm part Irish too. My granddad was Irish. And
hell yeah.
So, but yeah, it was definitely wild being there for St. Patrick's Day in New York. I think I was 19. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Little Ireland was hopping, dude. It was fucking parades and bagpipes and green beer and piss in the streets. It was great. It was fun.
Piss in the street. It's my favorite kind of piss, man. Is a piss in the street.
Everything you think about during St. Patrick's Day, it's exactly what it was. That's great.
I think we need to plan a trip then, guys.
Where are we going? Oh,
either New York or Chicago for St. Patty's Day.
We should probably think about doing Camp Lost Boys next year.
Dude, yes. Liam, you know about that, right?
I keep forgetting about it, and that's sad.
When is it?
I always hear about it after it's done for the year, and I'm like,
yes. Yes.
I'll remember it next year. I've said that the last 2 years.
That's what I've said too.
And now I'm like, when is it?
So D actually just posted about it, and I was like, oh, that just happened. Fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. Hopefully next year.
Okay, so
last
May
year
of
it was
2026.
in Colorado, and I was like, it was an hour and a half away from me, and I didn't even fucking know what happened.
Dude. Yes, I want to go so bad.
That just sounds like we definitely need to go. I mean, we could fly in together, and then Liam can pick us up, and we can all go hang out in the woods for a couple of days.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
They always look so dope. Everybody says they're the best time, so.
Yeah,
dude,
for sure.
I'm planning
you know what?
What?
While we're out there next year, we could also, record a podcast. We could also record an episode.
From Camp Lost Boys?
From Camp Lost Boys,
Do the camp counselors allow that?
We will
They're
make
no
it
podcasting
happen.
after 8 p.m.
I would imagine,
lights out.
I would imagine if you ask ahead of time, they're probably down.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And then we can have a nice little live session, and have
that'd be cool.
Have them ask questions. Be like, what do you think about this and blah blah blah, and then we could just like answer right off the top of our heads.
Dude, yeah.
Wrap
That
it
would
That'll
be
be cool.
yeah. There you go.
We
Yeah.
got okay, so now all three of us are bound by this. We have to remember with enough time. I swear to God, you guys,
Hang
with
on, I'm
enough
gonna
time, we
cut
can't
my
be like,
hand.
we got to
I'll
get
do a blood
tickets tomorrow.
pact.
Okay, yeah, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down now. We have got to remember at least a month in advance, so we're ready.
It also depends on when it is
I
because
hate when
next
they do
year,
shit like that when they change the date for shit every year.
yeah,
Ugh.
because depending on when. Oh, there's June
What?
2025, Pennsylvania,
Mm.
So this
13th.
month, the
Nope, that's
13th.
it's sold out.
Well, yeah.
Damn it. Everybody else that
So
fucking heard about it
yeah,
or remembered it.
this is actually my buddy Aiden lives up in the Poconos, and this is in the Poconos, which is 3.5 hours from me, give or take.
I don't know.
Go sneak in there, man, or go offer them a large sum of money and see if they'll just let you come in. I mean, come on, dude.
Just
I
tell
don't need a
them,
bed.
yeah, take your own camping equipment and be like, it's fine, I brought my own.
Exactly. Dude, they definitely won't turn you away. If you show up with a smile on your face and a lantern and a sleeping bag, they are going to let your ass in there. You
Okay,
could
so
host one of the sports or something.
it also looks like they have an Oregon, which is sold out as well. It's August
Oh
29th
my
to the
God.
1st of September.
Okay.
So, you know what? I'm going to put this in my calendar for January, and it's going to say Camp Lost Boys.
Check dates.
Literally, yeah.
When is
Fucking
it
buy
happening?
tickets as soon as you see them, man. Shit.
All right, it's in there. January 21st, Camp Lost Boys. Check dates.
There we go. I know.
So
Bet.
So that's the
we
day
don't.
after my wife's birthday.
Oh shit.
You'd
So
be like,
I
"Happy
remember.
birthday, Camp Lost Boys."
Yeah. Happy
Just
birthday.
like-
Not that today.
I think next year it'll actually be good. So yeah, depending on when, because I go to Spain twice next year. So
Dude, what the fuck? You go to Germany in what, September, August, and then
September.
you'll be in Spain. What are you doing in Spain?
So me and my mom. Well, my mom asked me if she wanted to go, if I would want to go to Spain with her in April, and I said sure, why not? Um, and then the gay games is at the end of June in Spain. So I'll be there.
Nice.
And Luke is actually
That's
going to be
badass, man.
competing. So
That'd be
small
fun.
steps, trying to
Be a
get
good
him
time.
onto the international stage. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I took best lifter at the last gay games,
Yeah.
so pass the mantle to him and, keep going. Thank you. Yeah, it was a pretty big accomplishment. So that was
Keep
one
it
of the
on the
things I
team,
wanted to
man.
do. Did we just lose Jody?
It's been coming
I,
in and out on my end, but
yeah. Riverside hasn't been cooperating today, but yeah, one of the goals was to take best lifter at the games, and that was accomplished. I was like, yep, and we lost him.
I guess.
Hopefully, he'll come back in. But next step would be to like take records and shit. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens.
Oh, awesome, man. No,
But
that's great.
yeah, but focusing locally first. Next meet is October 11th. I want to bench 405 and deadlift 606.
Where are you at now?
Uh, no clue actually. I took the last week off just to relax and before I start prep peak for a deadlift only event that's
Oh,
coming
cool.
up on June 22nd. So it's barbells, not bands. It's a charity meet. We'll raise money for local LGBT charities in the Richmond, Virginia area. All right, so with that note, we're going to wrap it up here because we're just having too many technical difficulties. I've so graciously been in the presence of Liam. This is the first time that we've actually just like sat and talked, I don't know, for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not without our technical difficulties. Liam, it was a pleasure having you on the podcast, and I will see you on the interwebs.
All right, man. That sounds great. Thanks again for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on.
And I better get that Lost Boys invite. So tell me when it's
Yeah,
on.
seriously. All right, man. Have a good night and enjoy your dinner.
Hey, thanks, brother. You too.